What's up, everybody? This is Day and Tom for AroundTheAssociation.com and Around the Association podcast, and this is the podcast for Tuesday. Tuesday, I think today is June 6th or 7th of 2018, and I just got home a few minutes ago and a chance to settle in from seeing Kevin Knox work out here in Orlando today. He was available to the media after his workout with the Magic. By the time we were letting the doors, him and the few players that were working out with the Magic were pretty much winding down. Landry Shamet was another one of the guys from Wichita State, among other players. Theo Penson from North Carolina were some of the guys there. The Magic really, used guys today to look at potentially second-round picks, and Knox was the headliner today. There'll be other guys coming in the rest of the week and into next week, so I'll be doing individual podcasts based upon what my impressions were of some of these guys. So for those who've never seen Kevin Knox play, Kevin Knox was a 6'9" freshman that played at Kentucky. He's actually a local kid from the Tampa area, played on the same AAU team as Jonathan Isaac, so they have a very, very good familiarity, and you can see when they interacted with each other after the workout that they've been friends for a very long time. Knox, like I said, played down the road in Tampa. It says as a kid he went to a couple of Magic games, but spent most of his time in Orlando with AAU camps and those things, and basketball tournaments. Knox plays 1 year at Kentucky, was one of the highest rated recruits in the country, leaving high school, turned down places like North Carolina to go play for John Calipari at Kentucky. And he explained to us today that, that playing at Kentucky got him prepared for the NBA. When you're playing in a 24,000 seat arena with the pressure of being a Wildcat, and like he said, everybody wanting you to lose, that allowed him to break the ice and learn how to be in a pressure packed situation. His dad, Kevin Knox Sr., was in the NFL, played at Florida State. Actually played one season, I think, he was drafted by the Bills. I think played with the Arizona Cardinals or something to that magnitude. And Knox is a very big, very good sized kid, 6'9". He's well put together. He's going to be he says he can guard anywhere from 1 through 4. He's the definite size of a 3. He's a very good stretch 3, kind of in that build. You don't want to say the Kevin Durant type of build, but he has a type of flair to his game. He's a very good shooter, just need a little bit more consistency. So the question people are asking is, why was he working out for the Magic? Well, the Magic are picking 6th in the draft in a couple of weeks, and really, if you're the Magic, you look at all prospects. Now, Knox is scheduled to go anywhere from 11 to 15. He's working out for teams in the top 10. He said he worked out for Cleveland last week. He still has a visit to New York coming up. He has his pro day coming up. I think maybe 1 or 2 more workouts before we get to the draft. But Knox is working out for a lot of the teams in the top 10, and he's very confident he's going to be anywhere from 6 to 10 in the draft. So why would he be a good fit here in Orlando? Well, the Magic have the Aaron Gordon question to answer. Aaron Gordon and Steve Clifford will be meeting on Friday. Clifford's going to be flying out after the Thursday workout to go meet with Aaron out in California and to discuss, what's going on. And really, Coach Clifford has met with all the players, or I'm intending on meeting with all the players here. Like I said, today I did see Wes Iwundu. I did see Rodney Purvis in the building, Jamel Artis. Like I said, Jonathan Isaac was also here. I even saw Nikola Vucevic walk through the building as well too. So a lot of the Magic guys were here. So Coach Clifford's still here, and so he really wants to get a basis of what he has in this team, and you don't know what the team is going to have going forward. But the workouts today, like I said, I did see Kevin shoot the basketball for a pretty good little bit. He's got a very good form on his jump shot. He hit I think maybe 6 or 7 in a row off a drop step type of pro hop type of feel to his jump shot. It was basically around the world. He was hitting shots. You can see the range. He's extremely talented. He's very versatile. He's worked on his ball handling, he said, and that's one thing that people didn't give him credit for. At the same time, he's become a way better defender than what he is. So back to the fit here in Orlando. If the Magic somehow decide to, there's a chance the Magic can move down this draft. I mean, you always entertain every idea. There's one team in the draft that's looking to move up, and that's the LA Clippers. The Clippers are really interested in potentially going up into the top 6. They have 2 first-round picks. So the Magic decide to move back. Kevin Knox could be a nice option at 12 or 13 if the Magic decide to move back. There are other teams that have been interested in the Magic's 6th overall pick. So the Magic could move down, acquire some additional players and additional talent. So you always look at every aspect of what you're doing. The Magic are in a situation where really outside of Jonathan Isaac, you don't really know what you have on this team because Isaac is the guy that you're starting to build the pieces around. You don't know the situation with Aaron Gordon. Evan Fournier is going to be here for a while. Bismack Biyombo is going to be here for a while. So those two guys you're not going to get rid of. You're not sure what you're going to do with Nikola Vucevic. And you still have Jonathan Simmons and you still have Terrence Ross. Ross is a free agent at the end of the season, so Ross does have a lot of value around the league. And if Ross is back to being healthy, Terrence is going to be a very good trade piece, or quite possibly a nice 6th or 7th man for the Magic going into next season. Especially they can use him in the backcourt and playing threes, and they definitely need his 3-point shooting back in the lineup because that's one of the things they struggled with was knocking down shots from deep last season. But back to Knox. Like I said, Kevin was, in speaking with him, he was very, like I said, a very personable kid. You wouldn't think that he's just barely turning 19. He's the second youngest player in the draft. I think Doncic is the youngest of all the draft eligible players that are actually committed to the draft. Like I said, Knox still has a lot of growing to do. And remember, he entered college at 17 years old. So I think by the time he hit Kentucky campus, I think he turned 18 in August. So he's still young. He's still growing. Now, unlike Isaac, he has a better build for the NBA than Isaac did as a rookie. And, there's difference behind it. Kevin's, he's a nice, solidly sized. And speaking of Jonathan, for Magic fans on this one, Jonathan has gotten a lot. I'm not saying he's exponentially bigger, but you can tell he's been in the weight room. So he's starting to put on some nice definition to his size and starting to show a lot more muscle and on definition on his size. So he's looking a lot better. And I can't wait to see the progress, especially when he's on the floor at Summer League in about less than a month. Out in Las Vegas. I think Summer League starts around the 7th of July, so we're about a month away from seeing Jonathan and Wes and artists, a lot of those guys, Rodney Purvis, a lot of those guys that were the younger guys for the Magic that are going to be probably on the Summer League team, plus the rookies they have. The Magic had 3 picks in the draft. They have 2 second-round picks, so over the next few days, you're going to see guys that are going to be working out. You've been thinking, why are they here? Because they do have 2 second-round picks, and I think they want to be able to lock and load Lakeland with really good players and guys that are going to fit the mold. Now, I did see Landry Shamet out here from Wichita State. I like Landry, actually. If the Magic can get him in the second round, he's a winning point guard that played at Wichita State. Reminds me a lot of Fred VanVleet. But the thing is, VanVleet didn't have that jump shot that Shamet had, but they both have that drive and that killer instinct. VanVleet was a great passer at Wichita State, and Shamet was a solid one himself, but Landry's a way better scorer than Fred was, but they have a lot of similarities to their game. I kind of like him. Theo Pinson's a guy, if we watch North Carolina, so the guy's high energy. So he's a high energy guy, very, very high motor. And I think, he could be one of those guys that could be like a Jamel Artist type of player. This guy brings in a lot of high energy. I'm not sure how that would fit with the Magic or in Lakeland, but, it's always good to have those guys in place. Like I said, there's going to be a couple more workouts scheduled this week. There's a workout scheduled for Thursday, one for Saturday, and then there's one Sunday. And I have not gotten the schedule for next week for as far as workouts go. I'm going to assume. I'm not going to. So I say the word assume because it's not guaranteed that I'm just going to assume next week they're going to have some more of the 6 to 10 players in the 6 to 10 range players in the draft. Hopefully, Jaren Jackson will be here. Hopefully, Mohamed Bamba will be here. Maybe Michael Porter Jr. I know Porter Jr. has his pro day on Saturday, just like Kevin Knox has his pro day on Thursday. But Kevin did say he did have dinner with with Weltman and John Hammond. He enjoyed the food. Never been to the steakhouse they took him out to last night. Enjoyed the food. Like I said, he would love to play here. His family's here. His mom, is just an hour away from Tampa. His close family would come see him play on a regular basis. Like I said, he's from the Miami area, but like I said, they moved to Tampa, and he's very familiar with the area. So, if the Magic drafted Kevin Knox, that would mean potentially the end of Aaron Gordon at that point. Now, Kevin did say he would fit in really well with Aaron. Like I said, him and Jonathan have played together for years in AAU, so they would have a nice little connection there, especially with Jonathan, because they have played together for years. And really, honestly, Kevin and Jonathan would be a nice little intertwining combo together because Kevin's a scorer, and he's learning how to defend, and Jonathan can defend, is learning how to score, so they both will be able to hide their deficiencies even better to one another. Knox could come in here and be an 18, 19 point a game scorer. He just has to stay consistent. And that's just one thing. But the kid has a very good basketball IQ. He's very articulate. Like I say, when you play for John Calipari, you learn how to be a very good pro. Just remember, Kentucky always have guys who are loaded. The Kentucky program has been loaded full of guys for years. And so when you have guys who are loaded for years, it's a little bit more difficult to gauge how good they are. So when I say how good they are, it's their future going forward. So I like Kevin Knox. I understand why the pick was there, why they brought him in. You always want to evaluate talent. The Magic could do something different in the draft. We don't know yet, but it's good to cover all your bases. But like I said, Kevin believes he's a guy to be taken within 6 to 10. We just have to see how the draft chips fall. Like I said, I don't know about other workouts this week, about who's going to be here or which days. Like I said, there's going to be podcasts coming out after each of the actual workouts, so I can give you guys an update of what I've seen in these workouts. Like I said, we don't get a chance to see the actual workout. We catch those guys when they're finished. You'll see them, take a few shots here and there, but we won't see the actual true workout. That's complete personnel on that one. But like I said, I had a chance to sit down with Kevin for a little bit today, and like I said, if you go on Florida National News or FNN Sports on Facebook, you'll see the actual video with Kevin on there. You'll hear me asking a couple questions of Kevin as well as the different members of the Magic media out there. So we'll be back later on this week, like I said, with more draft coverage of people that, we're going to be working out here in Orlando. And like I said, I do have podcasts coming up this week. I've been promising them. It had some issues with Spreaker. I will have some things posted really regularly starting the rest of the week. So follow me on Twitter at NBADT29. Also on Facebook at Around the Association. Follow the podcast on Spreaker as well as iHeartRadio. I'll see you guys later. Peace.